Hello and welcome to Radhika's Sweet Pea Tales. Here I am with a very nice story called Lucy and the Green Door. Come, let's find out what the Green Door is all about. Lucy Jenkins lived in an ordinary house, in an ordinary street, in an ordinary town. At the back of Lucy's house was an ordinary garden with ordinary flowers and an ordinary path. But down the path at the bottom of the garden was a tree that was not ordinary at all. It was a huge old oak tree, and at the bottom of the tree was a very small green door, only just big enough for Lucy to squeeze through. This was Lucy's secret, because only she knew about the door. But what lay behind the door was Lucy's best secret of all. Each afternoon, Lucy would knock lightly on the door. On the third knock, the door would swing open wide, and the chief elf would be there to welcome her inside. "Come in for tea, little Lucy," the elf would always say. Inside, Lucy would meet some very special friends indeed. First, there were Penelope and Geraldine, two of the gentlest and sweetest fairies it was possible to imagine. Then there was Basil and Granville, who were rather mischievous imps. And there were the storytellers, who would sit for hours with Lucy and tell her the greatest tales from all the corners of the world. And of course, there was the chief elf, who would make the most delicious milkshakes and scones with heaps of ice cream for Lucy to eat. The world behind the green door was a wonderful place, and Lucy would always go home afterwards feeling very cheerful and jolly. On one particular visit to the world behind the green door, Lucy had just finished a scrumptious tea of cocoa and toasted marshmallows with the chief elf when she went off to play games with Basil and Granville. Now, just recently, Lucy had been feeling down in the dumps because very soon she would be going to school and would only be able to visit her friends at weekends. But they assured her that they would never forget her, and that as long as she was always a true friend to them, she could visit as often or as little as she liked. This cheered up Lucy considerably, and then they took her to visit the storytellers so that her happiness was complete. Of all the delights behind the green door, the storytellers were Lucy's favorite. They told her stories of how the whales had learned to sing, and of where the stars went when the sun had risen in the sky and they had slipped from view. Because of the assurances of the fairies, Lucy was not too worried when the day came for her to start school. Lucy would go to school each day and then afterwards would visit her friends behind the green door. As winter came round and the days grew dark, she only visited at weekends and looked forward to the holidays when she could visit them every day again. Meanwhile, at school, Lucy had made friends with a girl called Jessica. And although she told Jessica all about her family and her home, she did not at first tell her about her special tree with the little green door and its magic world. But Lucy did tell Jessica the stories that she was told by the storytellers, and Jessica grew very curious about where she had heard all the wonderful tales. Every day, Jessica would ask more questions, and Lucy found it harder to avoid telling her about her secret. Eventually, Lucy gave in and told Jessica all about her adventures behind the green door. Jessica scoffed and laughed. She howled with laughter at the thought of the wonderful teas and the stories that followed. Jessica thought that Lucy was making the whole thing up. When Lucy protested, Jessica told her that it simply wasn't possible, that there were no such things as elves and fairies and imps and strange and wonderful worlds behind doors and trees. So Lucy decided to show Jessica. On the way home, Lucy started to worry. What if she really had imagined it all? But if her wonderful friends didn't exist, how could she possibly know them? Jessica walked beside Lucy, still teasing her and laughing about Lucy's invisible friends. Lucy and Jessica reached the bottom of the garden. Just as Lucy was about to tap lightly on the green door, she suddenly noticed the door had disappeared. She rubbed her eyes and looked again, but it had gone. Jessica laughed at Lucy, calling her silly and babyish to believe in magic and fairy tales, and then ran off back to school. Lucy could not face going back to school that afternoon, and when her mother saw her, she thought she must be ill. She looked so upset. Lucy went up to bed and she cried herself to sleep. And when Lucy slept, she started to dream. All the imps, elves, fairies, and the storytellers were there in the dream. Then they hugged her and asked why she had not been to see them for so long. Lucy explained what had happened on her last visit, and then Geraldine spoke. "Little Lucy," she said, "you are special. You believe in magic and you believe in the little people. And because you believe, you are able to see us and live among us. But those who do not believe will always be shut out from our world. You must keep your belief, little Lucy." With a huge surge of happiness, Lucy woke up, dressed quickly, and ran out of her ordinary house, down the ordinary path, in the ordinary garden, up to the extraordinary tree, and was delighted to see the green door once more. She knocked very lightly, and after the third tap, the door swung open to reveal the chief elf. "Come inside, little Lucy," the elf said happily, "and have some tea." Wow, that indeed was a wonderful story. And stories, my dear friends, do open wonderful, wonderful doors to such beautiful places in the world, inviting fairies and elves and imps and so many other wonderful things into our lives. So, dear sweet peas, keep listening, keep believing in magic, and do keep that green door open for yourself. Lots of love. Do take care. Till we meet again. Bye bye.